just for reference, it's 90 degrees and I'm worried about winter blankets. And I've been worried about winter blankets, and I have everything sorted out. So this is the cabinet that we normally keep the blankets in, or this is the blanket I keep one horse's blankets in. So I went through everything. Here's everything that's going to get washed and waterproofed and repaired. There's one blanket that survived last year. I found another blanket in the house. It's a mess. It's a real problem. Let's not even talk about the fiasco that's happening over here. This is more like not my area. This is Mom's stuff, and she doesn't do a whole lot of riding. She kind of just comes down and plays around when she has time. But the pony's blankets are in this mix. It's freaking wild in here. Alright, so normally every time I come out to ride or really do anything with the horses, I'll lunge for 5 minutes at least. And that's just so I can see what kind of mood they're in, how they're moving, if they're fresh, or what. So today, I decided I'm not going to lunge this one, and that we're just going to see. He had off yesterday too, so I figured we'll just get on and see what he brings to the table and how he rides. And then peep that nice mane job. I'm going to pull those out after the ride and wash and condition his mane and tail, and then I'll put his braids back in. So if you see this vlog, that means I survived the ride. Catch you in a little bit. We had, oh look, oh my god. I brought him in here, I took his bridle off, and I just like put his halter on. I didn't even cross time, and he's just standing there. What a good boy. Oh my gosh. And like the barn aisleway is open, so he could have just ran out in the pasture if he wanted to. I swear. Sometimes we don't deserve these guys. But we had a good ride, and like I said, he was off yesterday. And I really think sometimes giving them time off is just as good as giving them good training rides. Like, he felt really fresh, but he felt really connected. And, you know, he had the day off. He got to maybe think about his rides, or maybe he just got to think about being a horse. And his body recovered because he rode him for 6 days straight. And most of those days were, you know, pretty good days. And then today we get on, and he gives me the nicest job. I don't really have to touch his face at all the whole ride. Just a good ride. And I lunge him. So that's pretty cool. I've always had, well, I really have one show horse, which is Dallas, and he's one of those horses that you really can't skip lunging him, or it's going to kick you in the butt later. But I also was listening to a podcast hosted by Andrea Fapani, and he was talking with Aaron Moses, and I've listened to that one maybe, oh gosh, so many times. But Andrea gets to a point where he asks Aaron about the lunging, because he says that all of the quarter horse shows, you see it all the time. It's the same people out there, and they're just lunging and lunging and lunging. And Andrea says, is that really necessary? And Aaron says, no, it's not. And I think it's something that people see other people doing, so they just think that's what they need to do in their show preparation routine. But Aaron followed it up, and he said, you can go as far as teaching a horse to be good-minded or bad-minded, and you know, maybe if it's like a horse's first show, they're a green horse, some stuff like that. In my case, I've got a very hot and spooky horse, so it just helps to get a little bit of wind out of his sails before you hop on. But Erin goes on to say that, you know, you can teach a horse to come out of their stall, go for a ride, and control their emotions, and do their job. And I feel like this is a horse that could probably fit in that realm, and you could just kind of work through his emotions under saddle. And I mean, today it worked out. I don't know that it'll work out every day, but I'll definitely start doing this more often, you know, like kind of wean out the lunging and just hop right on and see how he does. But for me, like I said earlier, I like lunging because I like to look at their legs and their neck and their shoulder and their back and their hips and their stifles and their hocks, and I just like to see that all the parts are moving the way they should move. And if you keep an eye on that every day, or every time you pull your horse out, you lunge, you really get an eye for how they move. So when something starts to go funny, if you lunge them all the time and you know how they move, you'll see a change right away, and you can be very proactive with whatever's going on. Maybe it's a splint, or maybe he's got a sore muscle or something. And then instead of riding, you can maybe just warm them up, warm their muscles up, get some blood flow to the area, and then, you know, do some sort of therapy on them. But I'm pulling his braids out right now, and then I'm going to put him in the wash stall and give him a bath. And then we'll be back when we're rebraiding his mane. Everybody is tucked in. Everyone's got their hay and their grain. Hi. It is everyone's favorite part of the day, dinner time. Goofy. Little pony. Dallas. Dallas. And Vegas. He's grouchy when he eats his grain. And then we close up. a day in the life. And then we get to do it all again tomorrow.